the others heard this,
I could use your help, Supreme Kai.
who Gordon was taking with him on this trip, but Gordon knew he was actually referring to Syl. He would really like that.
Hey,
When their station
Dende.
was announced, they would continue to display their tickets and enter the teleporters. The girls
Please come visit me again.
for a moment to look at Quinn. This might be the last
It's
time
good
I
to see you, Dad.
into the teleporter to head back to the Blade family. Episode 544, Bloody Vulva.
I wonder who I'm gonna be fighting first.
With the others gone, there were only the four of them left. Vex, Quinn, Paul, and
I'm real
Jazz.
excited to test
They
out
were
my
exactly the
skills.
best set of people to be grouped, as two of them had only recently joined. Paul seemed to have some agenda against Quinn, while Quinn could say the same thing back. And as for Kaz, well, she was on no one's good side at the moment. She had killed innocent soldiers, and at the same time belonged to the First Family. Still, it didn't stop them from having a nice awkward sit-down together in a restaurant nearby. At the Earth Station, there were plenty of shops around the place.
It seems you've gotten a lot stronger since your fight with Sid.
I fought so desperately to protect everyone in the future. Knowing I've made you proud is a huge honor.
Amongst other things, it was a large dome-shaped shop. From the time the meal arrived until they finished eating. There are a few basic things that we will need. The ship has one of the systems to power it. Eventually, we will need crystals. If we are using it frequently and including the little chips here, we could go purchase a teleporter. His money card and everything taken away from him. On top of that, it was military, so he wouldn't be using it too much anyway. The credit system seemed to be still in use, but it was a problem. The only one with credits on him was Quinn, and he wasn't exactly a rich tycoon. He would be considered well off for a student, but not enough to purchase teleporters.
Can't believe you've gotten this strong. You really are incredible, Gohan.
Logan had a limit to how much he
I
could
know
spend
you've
set
been
by
through
his
a whole
parents.
lot worse than me,
They were
Trunks.
on their own on this one.
If you do me the honor, I'd love for you to train me
Was to
now.
earn a stable income, protection as long as we stay in that faction's area. Purchasing teleporters. Family is with the Green, and that gives us two options. All out. Had a bad feeling about it. However, he ignited us to begin with. Perhaps he would be a champion. Once we decide on a faction to join, we can use the big ship to fly out somewhere, Paul said. And then we can use the small ship to fly out on the
I'll end this! Take this! 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 Even if you're different from the Gohan I knew, you still mean the world to me.
There was no reason for him to lie. However, it didn't take long for Quinn to realize that the tension between everyone was high. That's crap, old man, the man shouted in one of the shops. You're charging me more just because we're part of Pure, aren't you? It was a wake-up call. Never had Quinn ever heard anyone so openly claim they were part of Pure. That's when he noticed that nearly everyone had the crest of their faction on display, and people were walking in groups. Still, no fights broke out. It looked as if there was some respect among the things agreed upon.
It seems you've gotten a lot stronger.
Earth stations.
Your fight.
It didn't stop there.
I fought so desperately to protect everyone in the future. Knowing I've made you proud is a huge honor.
They would talk about the benefits of joining certain factions. They weren't just stopping him. It was anyone who would
I'll end this! Take this!
That's when he spotted the perfect thing to take his mind off things. He had come across a VR console shop. These shops not only sold the gaming pods, but also allowed you to rent them and use them It's been a while.
I'll end this!
That games would still be running in times like this, but in the end, everyone had to de-stress in one way or another, and games were a good outlet for that frustration. Here, Quinn wouldn't have access to the private servers that he had at the military base, so he would be unable to use his shadow ability in the game. After paying a fee and entering the pod, he realized there was another difference. This pod was connected to all the running servers. It wasn't just the ones at the military base. His user ID, Blood Evolver, was well known in the military, but outside of that, it was an unknown name. Still, the system recognized him and logged him in with his normal ID the same as before. Ding! You have 99 plus notifications. This was common whenever Quinn would log into the game, and he had been away for a while, so he had half expected this. Most of the notifications seemed to be from those wanting to add him. One couldn't see messages apart from friend requests unless they were friends. After clearing the notifications nearly in an instant, more started to come in.
Take this!
No! Never this long. Just clearing these notifications would be a waste of time, so he decided he would stop the game. But then, he saw something else. One of his friends had sent him many texts. When he looked at who sent him, he saw
Over there?
messages, all dated at different times.
So that's where you are.
Bloody really has been our base was attacked just like the others. They were pulled out in time. Just sending you this message to see if you got out all okay. I didn't know you didn't reply to my last message, but knowing how strong you are, I think you would have survived. With everything going on, I and Sam are thinking of leaving the military. Update.
Please,
I know if you're
don't hold
ignoring
back
me
on me.
purpose or
Give me
doing
everything you've got.
Remember, you promised me the two of us would have our fight.
This long hair I've got feels pretty unique.
I and Sam decided to leave the military after all. Still undecided on where to go. Was wondering if you would decide.
You're no match for me.
Would you want to say one?
I'll end this!
Join a faction. Relax, family. We needed to.
Take this!
Sleep was getting too much. They're still recruiting. Well, I guess everyone is. Planet Unity. I just thought I'd ask you if you ever wanted to meet up.
I'll end this! Take this!
My mind on where to go.
Not good! Over there, say that's where you are. Take this! I'll end this!
Quinn thought. Quinn, Sam, and Nate got to
This.
know each other better during the intermilitary base. At the time, they had
I'll end this! Take this!
They wish they could meet again. As a result,
Let go!
skills in the game, while Nate was sent to his soul weapon. In the end, Quinn had him as
I'll end this!
Sam messaged him. First, he noticed Nate knew he was walking. He also thought it would be a nice surprise.
Take this!
Secondly, he saw a few notification screens pop up before he could begin searching for news. Messages that had been put
That was a good fight. I've learned something from this.
would influence his decision. He had made a choice and now he wanted to stick with it. Quinn had a few notification screens pop up before he could start. Messages that that hadn't appeared before today. Please insert your traveler ID number for matchmaking, the system message said. Quinn didn't have a traveler ID. One could usually register for one at a faction base or in a mixed shelter, but there wasn't one at the Earth station. Because of this, he chose to skip. Then a few options came up. Please select your rank: rank F, rank E, rank D, rank C, rank B, rank A, rank AA, rank AAA. Most of the ranks were grayed out, and Quinn could only select the top 3 options, from rank D to F. This was a bit of a bummer for him. He was hoping it would be the same as the military base.
This is what you wanted to watch, right?
Similar level. However, it looked like the public servers worked differently. Without a traveler ID to confirm its rank,
Is there anything
it would only
special
let
that
him
you want?
select the 3 lowest ranks. Quinn did understand why the system was designed this way. It was because for travelers, ability
I
levels
always
mattered
take
less
my
and less.
time when I go on a
Travelers
shopping
were
spree,
categorized
too.
in the same ranks as above, and this was determined by the number of accomplishments.
You
they
won't see
achieved
one of
without
these
their
every
action.
day, trust
There
me.
were things to factor in with travelers when it came to determining one's strength, their fighting ability, their beast gear, and their soul weapon. It would
Wish
be
my
silly to
husband
put
would take
someone
me
like their
shopping a
leader
little more
in rank
often.
F, just because he was technically a level 1 ability user despite having no ability. Yet he had a powerful demon tier beast weapon.
Well, did you find something you want?
The leveling system at the military schools was quite flawed, and it only caused discrimination. Not taking anything else into account.
Well,
other than their
did you
ability.
find something you want?
According to Paul, though, that was all that mattered to them. They just wanted strong ability users on their side. Not expecting much.
I always take my time when I go on a shopping spree, too.
And started looking for a match. Some of the users that were in the military and following Quinn's profile noticed he was online.
I know. Decisions.
Person here and there, as his popularity during these times had died down a lot. Hey, Bloody Volver's really alive. Should we try
Well,
to recruit him?
did you find something you
Everyone's
want?
already tried, but he hasn't accepted anyone's friend request as far as I know. Finally getting into a game, Quinn decided that he would
Well,
play this match
did you
without
find
using
something you
any of
want?
his beast gear, hoping it would make it harder and a little more challenging for him. He also didn't want to use his blood abilities either.
I know. Decisions.
And he didn't want the same thing to happen here. When his opponent was matched, he could see that he was going up against an unranked player.
Well, did you find something you want?
Come straight out of school and had yet to join a faction. Or some rich kids who decided to not become a traveler, but enjoyed playing the game.
Wish
from
my
time to
husband
time.
would take me
This
shopping a
easy
little more
match,
often.
the opponent thought. Little did he know, Quinn thought the same thing. The system hadn't come up with anything, making him suspicious that he probably
I know.
wouldn't get
Decisions.
Still, it wasn't his
Wow,
in the first place.
you must be almost as rich as me.
The opponent charged in. He slid and sliced across the floor as if he was ice skating. Then pulling two
Hey,
short
how are
swords
ya?
from the sides of his legs,
This is what you
he was
wanted to
ready
watch,
fight.
right?
Fear my grease ability and I'm going to oil you up, little boy, the greasy man said. Did he just announce his ability in the open? Quinn stood still, barehanded, without his gauntlets. Looking at the man approaching him, he appeared to be moving quickly. He must have used his ability while also activating his beast gear equipment. Still, there was one thought in Quinn's mind. Slow. The man was incredibly slow. Quinn wasn't much faster than him, but recently Quinn had been going up against opponents that were far quicker than himself. When the man finally reached Quinn, there was a large grin on his face, and the next second, a fist was planted in it. Winner, Bloody Volver! The 3 or so people watching were amazed once again. What's going on? Is it some type of glitch? The reason why they were so surprised was because Quinn hadn't made a really big punch or motion. It didn't look impressive, yet somehow the game system determined Quinn's strength was so strong that the single punch was able to deplete the man's HP. After the one game left in the capsule, Quinn had decided to quit. He had chosen the highest rank possible, and as expected, he had no EXP in fighting against an opponent. While on his way back to the others, it did make him wonder though, now that his strength is at what it is, what rank would be suited for Quinn? Returning to the others, Quinn informed them of his decision, saying that he has decided to join a subdivision faction that was released to the Grey Lash. It would be nearly impossible without having a name for yourself to join the Grey Lashes, and they would have been thrown into the deep end if they tried. This was Quinn's reasoning. He explained that he had found out all the information from one of the recruiters. He didn't need to explain further, as while the others were walking around, they too were approached multiple times. The others had no complaints, and Paul for once thought it was a good decision. he thought of the Sun Shield and Greylash families. The ones that would make more moves or plays would be them. After all, they had the foresight to act before any of the others. There was no reason for Quinn to talk about Nate and Sam, as all the people he was with didn't really know them. Using their small ship, they flew back over to the larger ship and met back up with Peter, who had reported there were no problems at all. Then, for the first time, it was completely up to him to fly the ship, using the system created by Logan. Of course, everyone was a little nervous, but the ship had started fine, and it went up high in the sky all right. Leaving Earth's atmosphere was a little bumpy for all of them, but strapping in and with their unique bodies, it was easier to deal with than regular humans. Once they were in space, Peter used the system on the ship to locate a no-space zone. Each planet's territory was 20 million kilometers in sphere direction. This was how far their sensors and machinery would reach, claiming that the area was owned by that planet. It was similar to how countries would have a sea border in the past. So using the navigation system, they just needed to find an area where they were going, and then fly out a bit further from the planet into a no-space zone. The navigation system on board the ship would show the planets that they knew of, and were charted down. It would also show the regular flight path that would be used between other ships. According to Paul, as long as they stay away from these things, they should be okay. Back on Earth, though, those exact sensors had also picked up Quinn and their large ship leaving. Sir, an incredibly large ship has just left the Earth's atmosphere. It looks like one of our own. But no personnel have been authorized to leave, and I don't understand the code that it's showing. Should we go after it? The worker asked. Oscar, the Supreme Commander, looked at a few photos of the ship. He recognized it as one of their military base prototypes. It could store at least 2,000 men on board. He remembered that the Greylash family were the ones that had attacked the base. Leave it for now. We don't have enough resources and can't afford to go after it immediately. But send a small scout team to follow their location, Oscar ordered. Episode 546, Into Space. Paul initially anticipated that things would be difficult to deal with after he left for space. Normally, multiple military ships would cover the transport routes, but it appears that a lot has changed in a short amount of time. There was now no longer any monitoring of such paths, and instead, everything was a bit of a free-for-all, with ships leaving, coming, and going. One could see that there were plenty that would avoid some planets as well. Just to be safe, though, as soon as they could, Paul had advised they be railed from these transport paths between planets and take a longer route. Yes, it would use up more energy, which they didn't have an unlimited supply of, but still, he was thinking more than anything about the attention the ship would bring. Most of the ships they had seen were marked clearly with the faction symbol. In a way, it showed that they were protected. Their ship had no such mark. When one sees such a large ship, one would think of two things. That looks like trouble. Let's stay away, or what would it be like?
Goku!
The second thought was the one to worry Paul.
I just wanted to hang out.
Saw such a large ship, they might try to add it to their
Wow!
power.
Everybody's
Send a
here!
team to capture the ship. Right now, they didn't have the manpower to defend themselves. The ship was filled with things that they could use, but they could barely control the ship.
Contestant number
That
17.
was only thanks
Would you like to give a
creating
comment?
special device. Firstly, when they had gotten into the proximity of the area where the planet was located, they flew off into a no-zone area. Now the ship was sent to stay put and consume as little energy as possible.